So, here we are with Hailstorm. Thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us.
No, thank you so much for having us.
All right, so we have Arejay, we have Josh, Lzzy, and Joe.
Hello.
All right. So, at first I thought I was just going to be interviewing Lzzy. And so, while I was researching this, I found out that you got a new name thanks to Guar.
Yes.
Yes. And, well,
I've been dubbed, yes.
Yes.
My Guar name that they have so graciously given me is Clitoris Maximus the She-Bull. And before you get all crazy about it, it's actually spelled Clitaurus. Yeah, like the bull. Yes, they're very clever, those Guar boys. So I'm very honored, actually.
But I couldn't help but laugh when I found out that I was doing the interview, because about 10 years ago, I was interviewing Joe and Arejay at Heavy MTL.
Oh, wow.
And they walked by, assless chaps.
Oh, yes.
We actually had to stop the interview a little bit just so we can enjoy the view.
We could smell them go by. Yeah, it was great.
First time for Canada in the summer.
Yeah, I've discussed this with Blothar because I remember being at I forget whether it was Golden Gods or maybe it was even, I don't know, it was some award show, and they were in front of us in line to do like the red carpet thing, and one of them, you could tell that the costume had not been washed in a long time. They're dirty boys. But we love them anyway.
Okay, so you guys have been touring pretty much since the album released, and that was back May last year. And so you've been doing countless interviews, probably being asked the same questions constantly. So I'm going to try to move it along and try to get some different questions going.
Awesome.
So, I got these questions off of Reddit. So, bear with me.
Sweet.
If band names were literal, which shows do you think would be the best to go to or the worst to go to?
Oh, if band names were literal.
Like, say, Hailstorm. I wouldn't really want to be there. It would hurt.
Hailstorm, it's funny how that actually happens more times than not. We thought it was, just coincidence for many years, but many a times we'll go to a festival and everyone will be like, wow, it's like been 3 beautiful days, and all of a sudden it's literally hailing and lightning and somebody has to cancel a show or something. So, what other bands? The Foo Fighters might be fun. I don't know.
It would be fun.
Oh, the band fun?
Yeah.
I think a great show to go to if it was literal would be A Day to Remember. But they probably wouldn't be serving booze because you'd remember it the next day.
Okay.
Okay, I'd invite you to go see the birthday party massacre.
April 1st on your birthday. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? Hot heat. No, we've been at those festivals. Yeah, that'd be a sweaty one. That's a really good question.
Liz, you want to go see the Strokes with me?
Oh, Jesus.
There you go. That could either be a good thing or a bad thing. Depending on how far
I'm choosing to think that's going to be a good thing. That would be chaos.
Cattle decapitation. That'd be
Yeah, that'd be weird. Well, yeah, we're gonna hear from some people on that answer, but anyway, yeah, that's a great question.
Hailstorm, bring a helmet.
So another thing, recently there's been a lot of talk about UFOs going around. Mm-hmm. So if they made contact with each of you and they asked you, what is the best song that you've ever heard, lyrically, musically, what answer would you give?
Just because we've been listening to it recently, I'm going to say Grace by Jeff Buckley. Because I don't know what it is about that song. There's certain milestones in my life where I am constantly relearning what it means to me. Like, it doesn't mean the same thing to me now than it did when I first listened to it when I was a teenager, or early 20s, I should say. So I guess I'll say that. But I'm all for the UFOs. I'm ready. Let's go. I want to meet people. Can we be like, do they like rock music? Can we perform at some dome on either under the water or in space, wherever they're from? Come on. I'm sending it out there on the airwaves.
Why not?
What do you want from me?
Oh, I thought you were going to answer. I thought you had an answer for that.
I think the best song to play for the aliens, since they would be very much advanced in technology, and it probably mean, well, it's been real, Earth, but humans are done. I guess you would probably have to play them It's the End of the World as We Know It. That'd be a good one, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
Thank you, Arejay.
And so you guys have been known to do cover albums. You did release some EPs. So if you were to have to choose the best cover version of a song, which song would that be?
Man, the best cover version of a song?
Probably when we covered ourselves. And then any one of those. Let's just go with that.
Recently, now my mind is going blank. Who just did the Papa Roach song?
Oh,
Falling in Verse. I really like that version a lot. That's like recent. That's one of the first amazing renditions of a song in a while that I've heard.
I keep hearing a cover of that Gnarls Barkley Crazy song. I don't know who did it. It sounds good.
Is it was it the female voice?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I've heard that too. Yeah, that's a good one too.
There's a Metallica song, The Warning covered.
Oh, Enter Sandman. Yeah. Oh, that's an amazing cover version. If you've never heard The Warning's Enter Sandman, they rearranged the whole song in such a beautiful way. It's not just them playing it. It's really creative.
I would have to say Flamey Grant's Takes a Little Time. That she put a cover of. Takes a little time sometime, yeah. That was a pretty good cover of that.
That's your new favorite artist, isn't it?
it's funny that you talk about The Warning because they're actually going to be here next week.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
They're playing on the Saturday, and then the Friday and the Sunday, Metallica is actually playing here.
Oh, that's
So-
awesome. Come on,
It's a nice,
combination.
exciting
Let's
week
go.
for us.
We love them so much. And Metallica.
Speaking of Metallica, you guys played alongside them at Download. Did you have a chance to catch their set, or?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, it was. We were in the Snake Pit. It was awesome. We had so much fun, and Joe took pictures.
Well, you got to pass though.
I put them up. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah, no, it was a great time. The show was awesome, and actually Lars and James watched our set, which was kind of cool.
I'm glad I didn't know that at the time.
Didn't see that.
No pressure.
It was great. It was a good time. Hopefully we'll do it again.
Yeah, that was really awesome. And it's like, man, they still got it, and it's great to see that as because we've been a band for 20 years, the four of us, and doing it. So it's the fact that we can see these guys that are literally grandparents right now, still getting up there and rocking out and doing it. That's like life goals. So keep doing it, Metallica. We're counting on you.
Okay, so another thing I like to do is I like to take the band songs and try to make questions out of them.
Okay.
So you guys have the
This is
songs
awesome.
Back from the Dead. So a little bit morbid, but if you would be able to bring back an artist from the dead that you haven't seen before, who would it be?
Oh man.
G.G. Allen.
Yeah.
Yep. I want to see some poop getting thrown.
Oh Jesus. Okay. How long?
Really flying out of this.
Man, there's just so many of them. I already kind of mentioned Jeff Buckley. That would be on my list, but Janis Joplin, absolutely. We got to meet Ronnie James Dio right before he passed, but yeah, that'd be nice too. I just want like a round table of people that I can just have a dinner with. I think I like not even just to see like live, just like I would just want to meet some of these cats.
Yeah, jeez. I don't know. Jimi Hendrix, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I was kind of torn between Jimi Hendrix and John Lennon. Curious about like what would their careers, or Kurt Cobain, like what would their careers be like now had they still been with us, and how would that have altered the course of music?
Yeah, I know. You never know because it's like, especially with the 27 Club, you realize that these kids are so young. Like we're. I mean, we're all in our upper 30s and early 40s now, you know, just over the line, and we still feel like we have so much left to give. So the fact that they were 27 and they had so much, like, that they were already doing and already putting out, it's like these old souls that weren't that like just, I don't know, burned so hot. That's a really good point.
We do have something to be thankful for, though. Boys to Men are still here, and apparently they're still killing it.
I would see that. I would go see that.
For them everywhere. They're still out there doing it. It's great.
Yes, and as you were saying, I mean, you know, they died so young, the 27 Club, and you mentioned Metallica and how they're still going. Megadeth, they're still going at 70, I think.
Yeah,
So you can only imagine what they would have been able to achieve.
it's true.
Who knows? We need an alternate timeline where we find out. Maybe the aliens can show us that.
Come on, guys. Maybe that's where they all went.
Like, ooh, this timeline is not cool.
Yeah, we're gonna go to
Okay, so another song, Here's to Us. So, putting the Grammy aside, what are some of the things that you're most proud of?
One of the biggest things that I'm most proud of is that we're still together. Honestly, like we've realized that after, you know, we're celebrating, you know, 20 years as a four-piece this year, and the fact that we are still together and haven't killed each other yet, and haven't like developed some horrid drug problem or decided to do other things yet. There's still time.
I'm most proud of Arejay's pants.
His pants choices, yes, we're all very proud of you.
Yes, I'm at the sweatpants age now.
Okay, another one, in your room. So if you were to go back to your teenage days, and you were to walk into your room, what kind of posters would we see on the wall?
Oh man, my room was weird because I went immediately from being like a horse girl. So I had like horses, like the border of my room was like horses. Like, you know, do you remember borders? Like you have like, instead of having like the wallpaper, it was just like a border at the top with horses. But I had, now this was in the 90s, but I was obsessed with 80s stuff. But I had like a poster of Tom Kiefer from Cinderella, and there was like Dio, and there was all this, and there was like Tool, because I was into Tool too, and like some Seven Dust stuff. So it was a very, very strange time when I was in my parents' house.
It's probably Tiffany Amber Thiessen and
No.
not you.
Oh, you? Oh, okay. That came later.
Maybe some Jennifer Love Hewitt. I don't know.
Any guitars?
Oh yeah, there's guitars on. You know,
Yeah.
I'd tear guitars out of Guitar World and stick them to the wall.
No, didn't you have no, not My Little Pony, Rainbow Bright bed sheets?
Yeah, when I was real little, loved Rainbow Bright.
Hated Rainbow Bright.
Oh no, now we have a beef.
Okay. My Little Ponies, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of cars, way into cars, and you know, maybe some sports accoutrement.
I would just go back and tell myself to clean my freaking room. It was just a mess. Maybe if I was a little bit more organized as a kid,
Sears catalog.
maybe I'd be a little bit more mentally stable nowadays. Good housekeeping. Yeah, it was a mess.
But you knew, so for anybody watching that doesn't know, Artie's my little brother. He did have a messy room, but he knew where everything was, because sometimes I'd try to like help, like he'd leave his door open, just like, oh man, there's like trash on the floor. So I'd try to pick up the trash. He's like, where did the pile go? I'm like, it was trash. He's like, but it was my trash and I knew where it was. I'm like, okay, fine. It wasn't trash.
It was treasure.
Rat bait.
Rat baits.
Okay, so another song, Tell Me Where It Hurts. So you guys have been touring on stage, you know, things are bound to happen. So what are some of the craziest, weirdest, like, accidents maybe, or just injuries that you may have suffered on the road?
Josh had a gnarly one a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, I was walking to our dressing room, and it was sorry. Yeah, and so I was walking to the dressing room. I had my guitar in my bag, and it had rained the night before. It was like aluminum decking with like 2 steps down, and I slipped walking down and yard sale, and the step walls were made with like diamond plate metal, and I missed the handrails and landed on the diamond plate, and hand went down it, and I got like 8 some stitches across here, and I was in Chicago. I had to go like Chicago General, and I just sat there for like 10 hours. I missed the show. I was like, I Ubered back. They were like, all right, go there to get your prescription filled for, payment. I was like, I don't care. I want to get the hell out of here. So I just ran to the door, got an Uber, and I was like, maybe I can make it. And traffic was horrible, of course. And then as we're pulling, the guy's like pulling up to the venue, like I hear him playing the last song. I was like, worst day ever.
Yeah, we were helped along by so after Josh went to the hospital, it was the bass player from Blackstone Cherry and the bass player from Shinedown, and they both split up our set, learned our songs in like whatever, an hour or so, and it wasn't great, but we pulled off the show, and it just wasn't the same the whole time. We're just like, man, we really need Josh up here. It's like we were so grateful that they could help us out, but just like, oh, we missed you, buddy. We were hoping.
And keep thinking back to them like poking it, to see if the tendon was severed or not, and they just be like, I was like, stop, please, what the fuck?
What about you, Joe?
Any strange injuries? Oh, you threw your back out years ago.
Oh yeah, long time ago. Rocking out a little too hard.
He got stuck like this.
Like, oh god, no. We finished the set. Couldn't quite walk after that, but whatever. Got through it.
Yeah. We had to roll you in the RV or in the van or whatever it was. It was at the RV, and got up to the hospital. I was like, I can't get up. Yeah, they finally gave you some pain stuff, and it was fine.
Amy Itchy hated it.
Yeah. You were never. Yeah, that's why you've never been into drugs or pillies stuff. I don't know if I've really had like a major injury like that. I'm pretty resilient. Right now I'm encroaching on 40, and so now my lower back hurts, and I'm having more trouble with the heels these days. But yeah.
You had the vocal thing.
Yeah, I did. I had a cyst that landed in my throat that I had to get rid of, and it was like a 2 or 3 year ordeal. I didn't know what was going on, because I would go to these vocal doctors and they're like, you're fine, you don't have any nodes. So I would go from being able to sing perfectly one night, and then we'd have a day off, and next day without doing anything, and I was being really good in those days too. I'm like, I'm not doing anything, I'm not drinking because I don't know what this is. I'd wake up and sound like I smoked a pack of cigarettes. And so finally, after 3 years, I went to this guy, and he had this crazy scope. So he scoped my thing. He's like, oh, you have a cyst that landed on top of your vocal folds. So this is a little nerdy, but vocal folds are like this, they're kind of like a vagina in your throat. And if it had landed on the inside, they would have that would have just stopped me completely, but it landed on top just kind of randomly. So yeah, I had to go in and get that done, but it was just amazing to realize what that was, because I'm like, am I broken? Am I what's happening? And have been pretty fantastic ever since. So yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that was my only major one. Thank you. I pushed that from my memory, Josh.
Arejay fell off a longboard one time, and wrecked his wrist, and for the next week of shows there was just no snare drum. He's like, because he wouldn't hit it. Yeah. And that was the last time any of us ever rode a skateboard of any kind.
And it was the day before the first time we played with Alice in Chains, so it was
Was that on the Alice in Chains tour?
They were watching, and I was like, oh, here goes nothing. Wrap some duct tape and
Isn't that the way it goes? It's always the way it is.
show must go on.
You didn't really need a stereo because you had your screams, right? That-
Yes, yeah, just mic'd like, There's murder in that snare. Snare was screaming for mercy.
Okay, so I've seen some of the photos of set lists that you guys use on stage. So how do you guys go about choosing the photos that go along with it?
We ask Joe that every day.
I don't know. I just try to, think of the town or wherever we are or what has been going on and try to put something funny on there. Or if I can't think of anything, just someone from the town, something.
Have you already decided what Laval is going to be?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're all set.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. Yeah.
It's good.
Okay.
Okay, and so now you guys have a few more shows left with Volky and a little bit of a break before heading to Europe with Black Veil Brides. So after that, what's next?
Oh, God, just moving on and moving up. We've already begun writing for another record, so we'll probably try to put that together in our spare time in some way. And yeah, just keep moving on. We have more touring coming up. What is after the Europe thing? Do you know?
We're going to, try to do the record, and then we're working on a summer tour and a fall tour, and we'll be getting back here next year, hopefully, and just got to do what we always do, play shows.
Yeah.
Are you guys able to work while you're on the road, or do you need to be in that studio setting?
We do a little bit of both. I've been breaking out I have a small rig that's just basically for catching ideas. It's not brilliant quality, so none of what I'm doing right now is going to be like record quality taking, but just trying to organize thoughts. And sometimes it's fun because you're in an environment where if you're creating a song backstage like today and you go on stage, there is something subconsciously that I'll be thinking about. They're like, oh, was what I it will be a fleeting thought on stage, like, is the idea that I was working on today, is that worthy of the stage? And is that worthy of the people that are going to be listening to it? So, sometimes that's helpful. Other times it's helpful to just lock yourself in a studio and be like, we're not coming out until it's all done. So, yeah, a little of both.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next year. We're out of time.
Absolutely.
But it's been a pleasure talking with you guys.
Thank you so much. These have been absolutely brilliant questions, too. We've had so much fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.